Unless you're living under a rock, you've probably seen Cosori air fryers. I have two right here, the TurboBlaze and the Pro LE, and normally one costs about $20 more than the other, but with that $20, you get a lot more. So when Cosori reached out with the opportunity for me to test both, I jumped at the chance. Same ingredients, same kitchen, same day, and I'm gonna cook in both of them right here. By the end of this video, you'll know why this might be the best extra 20 bucks you'll ever spend. So here's the setup, Curated crew. On my right, we have the Cosori TurboBlaze, 6 quarts, and it has a DC motor with 5 fan speeds. On my left, we have the Cosori Pro LE, 5 quarts, and it's lighter, simpler, and a little bit more budget friendly. On paper, they look like cousins. The same brand, the same square basket, both go up to 450 degrees. So what's the difference? There are 3 specific things. 1, the DC motor. It has 5 fan speeds and it cooks faster and it actually quiets itself down for delicate foods. 2, the extra modes. It gives a wider temperature range and unlocks real baking, dehydrating, and proofing. And 3, the PFAS-free ceramic coating for all our health-conscious folks, and I think everyone wants this in their appliances. When you put them all together, it's a no-brainer. But let me show you what they look like and then start cooking so they speak for themselves. Let's start with the Pro LE. When you pick it up, it's light, around 12 pounds or so. It's easy to slide into a cabinet, and that matters if you have a smaller kitchen. But the control panel on this is a clean, tempered glass top with one-touch presets. Chicken, fries, frozen, steak, seafood, veggies, bacon, and a couple of other helpers. But if you press the food, you can just walk away. So for somebody who doesn't want to think about it, it makes sense. We're going to start with the Pro LE, but before we do, let me give you an idea of what the touchscreen looks like on this model. So you see up top, you have all of the presets: chicken, fries, frozen, steak, seafood, veggies, and bacon. You have time on the right, you have temp on the left, you have the screen that shows you the time and temp in the middle, and then you have some more presets at the bottom. You have preheat, keep warm, shake, and then start or pause here. So keep that in mind as we move forward, especially these. We're going to see the differences when we get to the TurboBlaze. Now onto the TurboBlaze. A little heavier in the hand, but that is because the basket is noticeably bigger. That is your 6 quarts versus 5. And if you have a bigger family, that extra quart makes a difference. Inside, you've got this crisper plate sitting on a square footprint that is wider than the Pro LEs. More flat space means food in a single layer, and that single layer is how you get even crisping instead of soggy food. Now let's look at the TurboBlaze. First thing you'll notice is that there aren't the presets at the top here like there were in the Pro LE. There is, however, the time and temperature, and then there's the screen that shows the time and temperature. But one of the differentiators here is the fan speed. What you'll see is that based on the preset that you select below, the fan speed changes, something that's not in the Pro LE. Below you have some presets: preheat, reheat, dry, bake, proof, warm, another differentiator, that proof function. And then you have the turbo modes: air fry, roast, broil, and frozen. And you'll notice that all of these are full fan speeds. Then you have the power button and the start and pause button. Here's the first real difference, and one that I care about a lot for this audience. The TurboBlaze uses a PFAS-free ceramic coating. The Pro LE is standard non-stick. For a lot of you, especially parents cooking for the kiddos every night, that PFAS-free piece is the whole ball game. Stop the video right here, go buy it. And then there's the motor. You can't see it, but that's where the turbo comes from, and that's where the fun begins. Let's go cook. Okay, so here's the plan. 5 foods, same prep, same amount going in both air fryers at the same time, so you see exactly how they stack up against one another. Pro LE just cannot do. Let's run it. Okay, so round 1 is the fries. Crinkle cut from Morida. Let's open this bag of fries, and then we are going to put half bag in the Pro LE and half bag in TurboBlaze. It's about half here. This in. All right, start here. Gonna just hit fries preset on the Pro LE and start. And then I'm going to hit temp using the cheat sheet that came with the TurboBlaze, 400 for 15 minutes. Gonna go to air fry, 15 minutes, and then hit start. All right, so really quickly, I'm gonna show the decibel reading of each one of these. I'm gonna pause one for a couple seconds so that you could hear. So I pause the TurboBlaze. Let's see what the Pro LE sounds like. About 56. Yep, now I'm gonna pause this and go on the TurboBlaze. As you can see, this one is about 59, 60. All right, so now we gotta shake this one. See the signal popping up here? Take it out. Give it a little shake. You can see looking good. And put it back in. All right, and if we look over here, we see this one is halfway through, but the TurboBlaze is almost done. We're at 34, 32, 31, 30 seconds left, and this will be done. So we'll see how that looks in 25 seconds. And then keep in mind, this is a bit of a, just an aesthetic or good to have, but this one, the TurboBlaze, shows seconds when it's counting down. What I've noticed is the Pro LE doesn't. So we're done. I'm gonna give it a little second to just cool down, maybe just 1 second, or 1 minute, sorry, and then I'll pop it open. All right, that's long enough. I'm excited to see what this looks like. All right, look at that. Golden, look at this. It's golden. All right, let's see. We gotta wait another 11 minutes to see what the Pro LE does and compare. I'm probably gonna check the Pro LE just a little bit sooner because the last time I did fries in this, I came out a little bit too crispy at the 25-minute mark. So I'm probably gonna check this at around maybe the 21, 22-minute mark and see what it looks like. All right, so now I'm gonna pause this at 20 minutes just because, like I said previously, I found that 25 was a little too crisp. Oh, this looks good here. Take a look at this. All right, so now that these are done, let's taste them. I'll put a little bit of salt and then we'll taste to see which one tastes better. I don't think any would taste different from one another because as you can see, these are almost identical. They look really good. And the difference here is not about taste, but really about speed. As expected. So like I said just now, this wasn't about taste, but speed. So we have the TurboBlaze here that did this in about 15 minutes. Now, when you think about the Pro LE, their default setting on this unit was 25 minutes, but through experience and doing this a bunch of times in this unit, I've realized it comes out a little bit overcooked at 25 minutes. So we stopped this at 20 and it was almost perfect, as you can see here in these two. But at the same time, this did it in like 25% less time. So if you're looking for speed, again, the TurboBlaze does it a lot faster. Next, we have everybody's favorite, the chicken wing. I have two different types of chicken wings set up here. One I'm gonna do in a dry batter. So I'm just gonna take some flour, see how they come out. Then secondly, I'm gonna do these as barbecue wings. I already have this batch seasoned with garlic. I'm gonna dip it in barbecue sauce and then put it in. So it's gonna be sticky, it's gonna be all over the place. And that's gonna help us also understand how the cleaning is gonna work for this in the end. So let's go. Now that we've got the chicken set up, we're gonna put the dry battered chicken in both air fryers. The first one is the TurboBlaze. They have a cheat sheet, and that cheat sheet says put it in for, let's get it set up, 385 for 16 minutes. So let's get that here. We're gonna dump the chicken in it. Half of this chicken is gonna go in the TurboBlaze and half in the Pro LE. Probably put one more in here. Yep. 385 for 16, and then we're gonna put the rest in the Pro LE. The Pro LE has a default chicken setting, so we're just going to use that and see what happens. So as you can see, we get to a little bit of a cramped spot here because this is a 5-quart versus the TurboBlaze, which is a 6-quart. So I may actually leave this one out and only put 6 in here since it's a smaller air fryer. So let's put the 6. We're gonna set this to chicken. This goes on for 380 for 20. We'll start, and then we're gonna come here, 385 for 16 minutes, and we're gonna get that started. And we'll see where we land. All right, so the TurboBlaze is done. Let's see how it looks. You can see that sizzle. It's pretty dry, of course, because it's just been dipped in flour. I'll let it cool down for a sec before I jump in and take a bite. We have 3 minutes left on the Pro LE, so I'll wait for that to be done as well, and then we'll compare. So now that, I'll push this back a little bit. Now that the Pro LE is done, see that? Yep, really great. It's crispy, skin on the top, and very moist on the inside. You can see it's cooked on the inside and still crispy on the outside. You see that steam coming out there. Let's check the Pro now. Let's look at the Pro LE, also crispy. We'll reach across here, you can hear this. A little less brown on the underside of it. Again, pretty hot Also moist, even though it was a little less brown underneath, the Pro LE was. Still tastes good. The difference was about 4 minutes in time. So the crisp is also a little bit firmer on the TurboBlaze than the Pro LE. Weighing both tasted good, but a little crispier here with a little less time. So again, TurboBlaze does its thing. Now that we're done with the dry wings, we're gonna tackle the wet ones. Again, I have these garlic seasoned wings here. I'm gonna make an adjustment to the barbecue sauce I have on the stove, and then I'm gonna dip the wings in the barbecue sauce and put them in both air fryers. I am, however, gonna adjust the temperature slightly on each one. I'm gonna go to the top of the range suggested for the TurboBlaze, and I'm gonna increase a little bit from what is the preset on the Pro LE, just because these wings will be wet, and I wanna make sure they cook all the way through. I'm gonna do the same thing for both, so we'll see. Now that we have about 9 in here, I think that's enough for some airflow. Now let's close this up and go over to the Pro LE. All right, let's get these in the Pro LE. Same procedure, dip these wings in the barbecue sauce, get them loaded up. I'm probably only gonna do 8 in the Pro LE, if it can even fit, 8 or 6, based on the size of this 5-quart unit. That one had 9, the TurboBlaze had 9. All right, let's get them both ready to go. They're both loaded now. So let's get them set. I'm gonna start with the chicken preset here on the Pro LE. It has 20 minutes, but because these are wet, I wanna make sure they cook all the way through. I'm gonna add 2 minutes to this, probably 3 minutes to this. And then now over on the TurboBlaze, the recommended window is 16 to 18 minutes. I did 16 last time. I'm gonna bump this one up to 19 to make sure it cooks all the way through. So added 3 minutes to both of them, and let's go. See you back here in 23 minutes when they're both done, and we'll take a look at the outcome. All right, they're both done. Let's see what they look like. I got my plates. I'm just gonna scoot this back a little bit for some space. Oh, you see that? This is the TurboBlaze wings. Nice looking wings here. So this is perfect. And now I'm gonna open the Pro LE. All right, let's see the Pro LE. Looks similar. Grab it. Yep. Got my little paper towel here. Let's taste them. This is the TurboBlaze. Let's go. Fantastic. Let me give you a little sneak. Chicken is fine. The garlic seasoning is through and through. Tastes fantastic. Now let's get one of these from the Pro LE. Also great. 4 minutes faster. The Pro LE versus the TurboBlaze gets the same job done, but faster. TurboBlaze strikes again. All right, so we're in the sink right now. As you can see here, it was full of barbecue sauce in these trays, and then I put on the pork preheat, and it started smoking like crazy inside the kitchen. So we have the Pro LE and we have the TurboBlaze. So let's start cleaning. I'll see how easy these are to scrape, and actually I should be able to take these trays out and then just get to the bottom of it. So as you can see, I already threw a ton of water in here just to cool it down because it was smoking a lot. And let's see how easy it is to clean. So grab the paper towel here and just kind of wipe this and see what it looks like. So not too bad actually. Pretty clean. This was pretty easy to clean this one. This was the Pro LE. Oh, sweet. Also very, very easy to clean. And this had burnt on barbecue sauce. Literally get some water and soap, clean it up, then I'll clean up the trays. Let's do this. See what it looks like. Scrape these. Let's see. Look at that. So just by this, you can see the difference in basket size, Pro LE versus the TurboBlaze. I'll see you once I'm done cleaning. Next up, we have 2 bone-in pork chops. They're about 1.25 inches thick. Let's stick them in and see what happens. First, I'm going to preheat because this is a thick cut of meat. I'm gonna preheat here first and preheat on the TurboBlaze to get them reared up and ready to go. On the TurboBlaze, however, the recommended temperature and time is 430 for 12 minutes, range of between 8 and 12 minutes. I'm just gonna carry it to 12 because of the thick cut. And then on this side, it's 400 at 15 minutes. So let's see what that looks like. We're gonna go with the recommended and then come back to you when it's done. The pork chops are already seasoned, pretty thick, like I mentioned and like I showed the last time. And we're gonna set it now. I preheat both air fryers already. So now let's put this one in here. You hear that sizzle? And then let's put this one in here. Hear that sizzle? Right. The TurboBlaze goes, what's this? Air fry 430 for 12 minutes. Pro LE is 400 for 15 minutes. As you can see, fan speed up high. Keep remembering that fan speed, and at the end, you're gonna see why that comes into play. So fan speed is on high, 430 for 12, and then 400 for 15. Let's go. All right, let's see what the Pro LE did. Oh, this looks really nice. Pro LE at the TurboBlaze, and see how they look. Oh, literal perfection. Look at that. Done really nice on the inside. That was the TurboBlaze. This is the Pro LE. So it cooked both sides. A little less on the Pro LE, but that's all right. But again, TurboBlaze, a little bit faster. Well done to the TurboBlaze again. And last but not least, for the comparison anyway, we have some Brussels sprouts. Now, I'm just gonna quarter these per the recipe, and then I am going to just drizzle it with some olive oil to give it some stickiness, and then sprinkle some salt and black pepper, and then we're gonna stick them in here for the allotted times and run it, see what happens. Let's load it up. I'm gonna put half in here, put this in here, and then I'm gonna put the other half in here. And now let's set it. All right, if you've been following along, I've been letting the units tell me how to cook what's in them. So basically, I've been following the presets given for the Pro LE and the TurboBlaze, and I have not necessarily been setting them against each other with the same temperature and the same time. I'm gonna try something different for this Brussels sprout selection. I'm going to set it to the TurboBlaze pre-selection, which is 415 for 8 minutes. So I'm gonna do this as well. This has a veggie setting, which is 350 for 10, but let's go 415 for 8 and see what happens. Well, this only has 420, so let's take it down to 410 for 8 and see what happens. They're both done. Let's check them out. Crispy. I'm gonna pour this out. The outer skin is a little bit crispy. You can hear that crust, but the inside, it's nice. It's still well done. Look at that smoke. Let me take a taste. Oh, it's great. Let me taste. Because the crispy skin has the salt and the oil, salt and black pepper. So the crispy skin tastes good as well. Now let's head over to the Pro LE. Similarly, this one was shaken midway. All right, let's see. Similarly good. Less crisp on this one. You can tell there is, of course, still some crispiness here. I mean, Brussels sprouts aren't really my jam, but if you're a lover of Brussels sprouts, I envision that you love these. So look at that. All right. This one is probably a tie though. I think this one is a tie. So I wiped out the tray and jumped right into some bacon. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna put a couple strips in each. Let me see how much I got in this pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strips. Let's see how the TurboBlaze did. Oh, the bacon is still, 5 minutes may not have been enough. This is 8 minutes, super crispy. All All right, so for the bacon, you need it to go to the end of the recommended spectrum of time to get it to look like this. All right, so the Pro LE. So there you have it. All 5 things I made. We have the wings, we have the fries, we have the pork chops, we have the Brussels sprouts, and we have the bacon. Oh, I forgot. Let me test the bacon. It's great. The cuts of bacon are a little bit thicker, so that's why I think I had to go back that second time. But TurboBlaze did a great job. Let's go over to the Pro LE. You can't go wrong with bacon, right? So where it matters, the meats, the veggies, and the starches like fries, the TurboBlaze is 20 to 25% faster based on presets. And don't forget, this is also PFAS free and a 6-quart versus the 5 of the Pro LE. Now, remember I told you there are 2 things that the TurboBlaze can do that the Pro LE can't? Let me show you. So right now, you can take a loaf of bread and you can bake it in there. So this makes it great for speeding up your pastry doughs and dehydrating fruits for the little ones. Now, here's the best part, and why I wanted to make this video right now is that the TurboBlaze is on sale for Prime Day coming up at $89.99. This is down from $119.99. So everything I just showed you, the speed, the modes, everything you can grab for $30 off right now. So if this saved you from buying the wrong air fryer, do your boy a favor and hit that subscribe button, because this is exactly the kind of testing I do every week for the Curated crew. I dropped the link down in the description for the Prime Day TurboBlaze. If you buy from that link, you'll help your boy out and we can do more of this. And don't forget, I have giveaways running all summer, so stay locked into the channel and you could win something from me this summer. All right, so drop a comment, tell me if you're gonna pick up the TurboBlaze. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.